the last one on the first part of the chat didn't go in all the way, so I put it in completely on the next one I just put in, okay?
Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Parent Academy. Our workshop for tonight is called Self-Care During COVID Part 2. So for those of you who joined us back in March, we actually had a Part 1 on March 22nd. So this is Part 2. For those of you who might have missed Part 1, you can visit our YouTube channel and you'll find Part 1 there. And so we just want to make sure that you are aware that there was a Part 1. I'm sure Ms. O'Connor, who is presenting today, she'll maybe go through just, some brief comments from Part 1, just to give you an idea of what was that all about. But I have to tell you that those who attended were very pleased with the workshop, and I'm sure that they will feel the same after today. Para los padres que están con nosotros hoy, gracias por asistir a nuestra Academia para Padres. Nuestro taller de esta tarde va a ser autocuidado durante COVID parte 2, para dejarles saber que también tuvimos un parte 1 marzo 22 y tuvimos muchos padres que estaban contentos con ese taller. Esperamos que van a sentirse igual después de hoy. And so what I want to do is I want to, before we have Ms. O'Connor go into her presentation today, I am going to go through some norms. And so just to make sure that our families who speak Spanish need translation, the first norm that we will share here is how can they, actually the first and second, inform them how to access our interpreter.
Hi, Janet, before you go on, I'm still not in the Spanish channel.
Okay, 1 second. Delia, you're set now? Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, para nuestros padres que necesitan traducción, los 2 puntos que están en su pantalla ahora mismo es para dejarles saber cómo acceder a nuestra intérprete. Por favor, si miren hacia abajo de su pantalla, pueden ver el globo que dice Interpretation. Cuando presionan ese icono, van a tener la opción de seleccionar español. Por favor, seleccionen español y ya de una vez van a poder escuchar a la señora Delia Rodríguez. Si están en nuestra reunión de hoy por medio de su tableta o teléfono, posiblemente tienen que presionar More. Aquí los 3 puntitos y aquí seguramente van a poder ver otra opción donde pueden acceder a la interpretación. De nuevo la palabra Interpretation y así entonces van a poder elegir español. Y ella va a traducir durante el tiempo completo de nuestra presentación esta tarde. Now, in order so that everyone understands how our interaction will take place with our webinar today, you'll see at the very bottom of your screen, you should see Q&A, chat, and raise hand. And so, first of all, at least for Q&A, we just want to make sure that you understand that if you have a question or would like to share a comment, you're able to press Q&A and it will allow you to type in a question or comment in either English or Spanish. And so again, if you write in a question, what we will do is actually ask the question out loud on your behalf, and we will have our presenter be able to respond to that question. The other way that you can also share your question, if you prefer to ask your question out loud, you can press raise hand, which should also be found at the very bottom of your screen. Once you press raise hand, we will see your hand. On this end, we will call your name as it appears on your video, and we will ask you to unmute. Okay, so we want to make sure that you're ready with your question or your comment as soon as we call your name. Remember, we are unable to unmute you, so it's really important that you remember that you will be asked to unmute yourself. And then again, you will see the chat feature at the very bottom of your screen. You will not have access to the chat feature, but we will make certain announcements there. So a few times you'll probably see some information there. So right now you will see, or you will find some links that are available to you that Ms. Okana has shared, a few minutes ago. So again, if you want to go ahead and save those links onto your computer, that's fine. But we are going to get started. We're not going to remove those links from the chat. We'll remind you a little bit later again that they are there for you to access and save in your own computers. Okay. All right, so we're going to get started. Again, for our families that need Spanish translation, I'm going to repeat it one more time, how to access translation. Para los padres que necesitan traducción a español, por favor, recuérdense, miren hacia abajo de su pantalla, van a ver el globo y el globo le permite poder tener traducción, acceder la traducción. Si están entrando a esta reunión hoy por medio de su teléfono o tableta, pueden presionar estos 3 puntitos y aquí le van a dar de nuevo acceso a nuestra intérprete Delia Rodríguez. So, Ms. O'Connor, you can go ahead and share your screen and get started. Thank you.
Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. And that's about as much Spanish as I speak, or maybe just a little bit more, but not enough to interpret everything. So I will be speaking slowly to give the interpreter a chance to translate what I'm saying. So for those English speakers, you might notice me pausing a bit, and that's for the interpreter to make sure that she translates everything. So it looks like we have 27. That's a wonderful number. And we will get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is basically go over a few things that we did at the last session that I presented. Can everyone see the screen? Great. So this is fun things to do outdoors this spring and summer as well. And with the warmer weather here, now's the time that we can really get outside with our families and create some wonderful memories by exploring nature around us. Now, in our workshop in March, we talked about things like self-care practices that strengthen and support us in our well-being, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. We also talked about the importance of taking time for movement, moving around, walking, playing. Yes, playing, even for adults, playing with your children, showing them games that you used to play as you were little, finding that inner child that's hiding deep inside you. We talked about taking quiet moments just to settle ourselves, to quiet ourselves. We talked about breathing and developing self-care routines. Now, self-care routines can be just about anything that brings peace to you. It could be taking a hot bath with candles. It could be reading a good book. It could be taking time as a parent by yourself to be outside and just, quiet your mind, quiet your body. So the self-care routines vary. We talked about beginning the day in gratitude and keeping positive thoughts. Sometimes we're in situations or we find ourselves in situations where it just seems very dire, very hectic, and it's very important to find the positive in any situation. We talked about not isolating ourselves, reaching out to family and friends to talk. Or even if the burden seems a little too heavy for family or friends, seeking professional assistance from a clinic or a social service agency. And above all, taking time to laugh and have fun. Again, allowing your inner child to remember how to have fun. Tonight, we're going to look at some of these activities outside and how we can enjoy the warmer weather with our families. But before we get going, I'd like to do a little poll. How many of you attended the previous workshop on the 22nd? Have you created self-care? Have you created any self-care practices? Is there anything that you were able to use from that workshop that made a positive change or shift in your life or your family's day-to-day experience? We'll just pause a little bit and allow you to answer the poll quickly. And Janet, you can give me my cue when.
Yeah, so just to remind folks, you see the poll right on your screen. Just quickly respond yes or no to each of the 3 questions. And Natalie, who is also supporting our webinar tonight, will let us know once we have about 50% of families responding. And then we'll wait a little bit longer to get a few more. And then we'll show the results.
We have about 50% right now.
Okay.
So would you like me to go on, or are we going to show the results first?
Yes, she's going to show the results.
Oh, okay.
There you are.
It's pretty good.
I know.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. Now let's take it outside. There are many things that we can do outside to encourage creativity, encourage learning, and just to have fun with our families. So on these slides, you'll just see some suggestions that you might find interesting and doable with your family and your children. So the first thing we talk about is growing something from a seed. As easy as that sounds, that could be a science project. It could be something that the children write about when they go back to school in the fall. Because, you know, there's always that question, what did you do this summer? You can get deep into it or not. You can get some seeds. You can probably actually take seeds from things that you have in your own house. Or you can maybe get a little package of seeds at one of the discount stores. Like, I think maybe the dollar stores have them. Job Lot, and I'm not plugging any of those stores, but I'm just saying that they're probably a little less expensive at those stores. And you can get those seeds and put them in some soil and then just watch it from day to day, watering it, have the children take responsibility. for growing something like that. And since the weather isn't really warm yet, you might want to start growing them inside. And then at some point, transfer them outside, maybe into a pot on the porch or on a windowsill, or if you have a window box. You know, use your imagination, use your creativity. Another thing that's easy to do is to have a picnic. Head over to your favorite park or neighborhood green space. It could be a playground in the area. It could be your backyard, just to enjoy a meal with your family outside. And if you're headed to a park, you might want to pack a blanket to sit on, or if you choose to use a communal picnic table, make sure that you bring something to wipe it down so that you limit your family's exposure to any germs that might be out there. And of course, have children help with the preparation, with the cleanup, and talk to them about how important it is to keep areas clean to help the environment. You could go bird watching. There's a lot of bird activity right now. Birds are returning, they're nesting. The spring migration has begun. And you can look for new species of birds each day, or have children identify a bird, have them describe it to you, have them draw it for you, and then maybe work with the children, depending upon the age, to find out what type of bird that is. And I know right now there are a lot of birds because I hear them at 4:30 every morning. Not a bad thing to hear, though, not a bad thing to wake up to. And here are some of the birds that I mentioned to keep an eye out for. You have your robin. You have your robin here. You have your blue jay. You have your mourning dove. You have a pair of cardinals. And you have a woodpecker. And sometimes you can hear the woodpeckers before you see them. If you hear some very intense tapping, it's probably a woodpecker on a tree, hopefully on a tree and not someone's house, because they do peck holes into people's houses too. So, but we're going to think positive. It'll be on a tree, hopefully. You can have the children help you set up a camp in the backyard, like they're out in the wilderness. Set up a tent or make a blanket for it, or make a tent with blankets or sheets. They can read books. They can play board games. And of course, you have to have snacks for them. Otherwise, they'll be in and out of the house. Stop and smell the flowers. Take a stroll through your neighborhood or park to see what's blooming, what flowers are out now. Spring flowers are blooming, trees are blooming and shrubs, and it smells wonderful. And they provide some beautiful color, especially on days where maybe it's a little cloudy out. To see a beautiful tree all flowering, it still brings that nice and warm feeling to it. And it's not just in the spring that you can find things flowering. There are seasonal plants that some will bloom in the spring, some will bloom in the early summer, some will bloom late summer and early fall. So there will always be something out there to talk about in terms of flowers with your children. You can stargaze. You can go out in your backyard at night and look up into the sky and look at the stars. Sometimes you might even find on a night that you might see shooting stars go by. And those are really exciting to watch. And you can find information on the stars and the constellations, the grouping of stars in the sky on the internet. So you can use your phone, you can use an iPad or your computer to find out more about that and to be able to identify the different star patterns that you see. And look, who knew that you could use a little paddling pool, a little wading pool to put blankets and pillows in, to be in the backyard, to look up at the skies? And of course, there's always nature play in your own yard. You can use natural materials like branches and rocks and leaves to make a fort, to play games and more. You can have them identifying leaves. You can have them identifying trees. You can have them balancing rocks one on top of the other to see who can go the highest. There's so many things that kids can do outside. And sometimes we forget about that because they get on their computers, on their tablets in front of the TV, and we forget about what we used to do when we were little, when we didn't have all of these things. We were outside playing, and we were very happy to be outside playing. I used to come in at the end of the day. I'd be exhausted from running around, riding my bike, playing tag, just walking around, playing outside. We want our kids to expend that extra energy. And we also want them to stay healthy. They can discover insects. Okay, moms, don't get upset. Don't get queasy. There's a lot of insects out there that are not harmful, that the kids can look for. Amazing bugs, such as ants. And there are so many types of ants. Beetles, worms, yes, worms too. Beautiful moths, cool spiders, and they're just popping up everywhere. They can search for insects in the backyard, in the garden, under rocks, on trees, just about anywhere outside. And there are so many images online to help you identify them. And that could be something that the kids are busy doing, to try to do searches of different types of insects so that they can identify them and they can tell you what it is, not to necessarily have the parents do the searches. And here are some of them. Here's a butterfly that is just emerging from the cocoon. Here's a butterfly that has already emerged. And look at all the different types of ladybugs. Who knew that there were so many types? I just thought that they were orange with black dots. Well, they're orange, they're red, some are black with red dots or orange dots. There are so many, some without dots. There are so many different types. And this is a picture of some of the insects, the different types of dragonflies, bees, grasshoppers, beetles. There are so many things to keep them busy, and they have a lot of that information to search for right at their fingertips. We want to keep their minds active. Who knows, maybe your child might be a future scientist. And with doing all of those things that we mentioned earlier, you might want to have maybe some paper or a little notebook for them to write things down. They can start a nature journal. If they have crayons, if they have pencils and markers, they can sketch what they see. They can record what they discover and how space changes through the season. So you might have a leaf looking one way in the spring, but in the fall, it's changed. It's going to have a different look about it. And these are some pictures that can show you how, the kids can draw the leaves. They can make, what is that called? When they put the leaf under the paper. Oh, I forget what that's called. If you think of it, just jump in and look and tell me, because it escapes me right now. So these are just some examples of things that you can do. And of course, we want to have exercise. We can run, we can walk, jog. You can do that around the neighborhood or in a park or on trails or on a bike path or at a track. So many different ways that you can do this. Exercise not only changes your body, but it positively changes your attitude and mood. It makes you feel better about yourself. Your body's moving. It's not cranky because the muscles aren't being used. You're getting out there with your children. They're getting out there. And even if you have the grandparents with you as well, bring them along. They might not walk as fast, but they will still appreciate being out there in nature, walking and getting some exercise. So for our second poll, just give it a little thought. Do you live near a park or a track that you can walk at? Do you know of one? Do you and your family walk together regularly? Do you think you can plan some time to do this family activity?
And as a reminder, Natalie will present the results. We'll wait for a little while, wait till there's 50% of folks who have responded, and then we will show the results as a total. While we wait, Ms. O'Connor, there is a question.
Mm-hmm.
May we get a list of all the things we could do with our kids? This is fun.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I think the slides provided to the parents at some point.
Yeah, so we can definitely, as long as each person who has logged into the webinar, we are able to email them the slides, or once you're done with the presentation, you can also, if you like to do that.
Make a list.
We could either make a list, or if this was Google, like we could just include the link into the chat, just like you did with the others.
Mm-hmm.
You can do both. But here are
Okay.
Ms. O'Connor, so I don't know if you want to talk about the results real quick.
Ooh, wonderful results. Do you live near a park? Just seems like just about everyone does. Do you and your family go out and walk together? That's good. About 50% of the respondents do that. And do you think you can plan some time? 100% yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we like to see. That's what we like to hear. We want to see not just you, but your children and your other extended family members getting out there and really enjoying the space that's around us.
There is a comment I just wanted to share that a parent shared. It says, leaf collage collection. We did one from different places. We planted a garden. Now we will be looking for different birds.
Nice. That's wonderful. And you can find, I think you can find pictures of birds, say in this area, it would be birds of the Northeast America, and they'll tell you which ones are frequent this area. We might not find all of them, but you'll find many of them. Thank you so much for your questions and comments. So in talking about exercise, sometimes we look at the weather like today, and it was like, oh, it's rainy out. I just want to stay in. Oh, I can't exercise. I'm not going to exercise outside. You're right. You're not going to exercise outside, but you can exercise inside. You can find a class like an exercise class or a yoga class online for free. And let your children join you and have fun. Have fun with it. It doesn't have to be serious all the time. And here is an example of a workout that you can begin with at home. There are many more to choose from. Just type in free exercise classes in Google search or in the YouTube search box, and you'll get a list of them. Not all maybe you'll prefer, but if you go through some of them, you'll find some that you like. Here is one that I found on YouTube, and I thought, let me see how much of a workout this is. It was a good workout. In fact, maybe we'll click on that. Oh, maybe not. I'll let you guys click on that. I've included this link and some other links as well. And here are the rest of the links. These are basically like some yoga classes that if you're interested, or if you're interested in stretching, in maybe just settling or just keeping the children active. Here are some links. We have like a chair yoga that you might want to start with, just, to familiarize yourself with it. This woman, Crystal McCreary, she does yoga for all different levels, and she has free classes online. She has some for children. She actually teaches in the school system in New York. And so she has a lot of experience with children and keeping them active and engaged. And then she has some beginner series, which are, warm up. She has a chair yoga. And then I've also found some yoga classes that I liked that were more calm than a quick moving yoga. A quick moving yoga you would call a vinyasa. And a vinyasa is a series of movements that you go through that is the yoga practice. But if you're not familiar with yoga, sometimes a vinyasa class can seem really intense and it can turn people off. So these two that I included, and the last two are in Spanish. The last one, the Easy Gentle Yoga Flow, is a mix of Spanish and English. So she teaches to both English speakers and Spanish speakers as she instructs the class. I thought they were very calming. I thought they were very methodical in how they taught their class. And as a teacher who's been teaching for almost 20 years, there are certain things that I look for in classes. just to have people start out to try something new. And don't be afraid to try a class and go, I didn't like that one. Try a different one. Try a different kind of yoga. There might be some of you who are looking for more movement, and then there might be some that are looking for a more gentle movement. And don't forget to create quiet moments for your children. You know, sometimes the information, sometimes the activities, especially if they're online or on their phone or on their tablets, on their computer, on the TV, you know, it's just like information, information, information. They need time to turn it all off, to just sit, to know how to breathe, to know how to settle themselves. So, for example, right now, after the children come home from school and right before they begin their homework, or even at the end of the day, you might have them turn off the distractions, the TV, the radio, internet access, and any other device that they might be using. Just have them sit quietly for 3 to 5 minutes and just breathe. Do the breathing exercises with them. Do it with me right now. So just sit up straight. If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road, keep your hands on the wheel, and keep your attention forward. But if you're in a place where you can just close your eyes for a second, do so. Keep a straight spine. Make the top of your head, the crown of your head pull towards the ceiling. Exhale completely. Inhale for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale for a count of 6. Inhale again for a count of 3. Exhale for a count of 6. One more time. Inhale for a count of 3. Exhale for a count of 6. Now let your breathing go back to normal. These are things that you can do in your household to bring those quiet moments, to help the children calm before work, doing homework, calm before bed. These breathing exercises, they are known to calm your central nervous system in your body. So when they finish the breathing, have them think of 2 things that went well today. If they're still in school, what 2 things went well at school? What 2 things, made you smile? If they're not, then just have them think of 2 things that they were happy about or that went well in their overall day. And then have them think of something, 1 or 2 things that they're grateful for. This encourages positive thinking And it really brings to heart a sense of gratitude. And when you have gratitude, you have joy and you have happiness. When you focus on the positive and pull positive out of anything that happens, it makes you more satisfied, more joyful with your life. And remember, happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It only relies on what you think. Thank you. Okay, now if I can get back to stop share, I will. Hold time. Hold time. Ah, there we go.
Oh, good.
The
We
two
see.
screens is like, woo.
So we have two comments. Let me see.
Mhm.
It says, this is from Maria. Next week would be about all kinds of dishes. Then in between, we learn about our states, listen to all types of music, and talk about our family tree, just
Ooh.
things we do. Lots of activity to do. We just do them every day, mixed with talking, asking each other questions. It's good quality times.
That sounds like wonderful quality time. That's the type of thing that is definitely a positive, and you're role modeling for the children, and you're having fun, you're having conversation, and you're staying connected. That's the key.
That's awesome. I think it's so important what you just said, because I think that I often hear families say that, you know, there needs to be more time spent in talking with each other, right? Because of all the technology and the phones, there are so many distractions, as you mentioned earlier. But the thing is that we have to make sure that we make time for this, right? Because you have to create the opportunity. And obviously we have to model that for our children. And we have to make time for everything. And that includes, they will define it being boring. But I think that we just have to let them know, wait a minute, but think about it this way, right? So there's another comment here.
Mhm.
This lady, this is you, Miss O'Connor. Does this lady do this with workplaces? They're all stressed and her voice alone is calming. Or does she only do these for schools? Thank you for this. I almost missed this and now realizing how much we need this.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the feedback. At the moment, I just do it for schools, but in the future, hopefully somewhat near future, options will be more open at that point to do it for other schools and possibly for workplaces too. So keep me in mind.
There you go.
And Janet, I love what you said about, you know, the children. Yes, their initial response might be that, oh, this is boring. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. But having a time where everybody puts their phones, turns their phones off and puts them in like a basket or puts them in a drawer, including parents, because we have to role model. And having an hour, and it might be around a mealtime, it might be around bedtime. You know, you can choose the time that's best for your family. But having that time to reconnect is really important, because the phones, the internet, all of it can be such a distraction that we lose these wonderful moments that we will never be able to recreate when they're adults, when they're all grown. We want them to have these moments and remember, oh, I remember when we used to sit down at the dinner table and talk and we would laugh. Oh, I remember after dinner, we used to put all our devices away and we used to play a board game, or we would have a series of questions that we'd have to answer for the day. There were so many things that you can do, but you, as the parents, you have to role model this and you have to put the structure to it. And even though the kids will kick and scream, maybe initially, kids like structure and they like to know that something's going to happen, and they like to know that they're loved and they're nurtured. And, you know, let's face it, we all work. Sometimes it's hard to carve that time out, but you have to do it. You definitely have to do it because they grow so quickly.
They do, they do. I did want to, first of all, invite everyone that's on the call right now, please do not leave us. While Ms. O'Connor is almost done with her presentation, we do have some drawings of some prizes. For those of you who will stay on, please, and give us your feedback about what you thought about Ms. O'Connor's presentation, some suggestions for us to be able to share other opportunities like this for future parent academies. So please do not leave. I do want to just suggest if I can ask everyone to participate with one more question while it's not a poll. It's just to see how many folks could respond, and if anyone would like to share this, their response out loud, please do so by raising your hand, press the icon, raise hand, and we will call your name, and then and we'll ask you to unmute yourself. So the question is, at one point, Ms. O'Connor asked the question, or she just shared, right, some things that folks probably did when they were younger, or they remember that they would do certain activities. So if anyone would like to share any activity that comes to mind that perhaps you might have not had the chance yet to do with your own children, but something that you remember in your childhood brought you calm. And I think that because of COVID, there are a lot of anxieties. As someone had mentioned, you know, folks are stressed. And so I think that if we can all share together, you know, some ideas, as Ms. O'Connor did in her presentation, some things that we can do not only for ourselves as adults, but also for our children. It'll be nice to at least hear if any of you would like to share. If you want to go ahead and just raise your hand, and we will call you out, just to call your name as it appears on your video. One or two folks before Ms. O'Connor leaves us, if anyone would like to share their experience. And again, Ms. Delia Rodriguez is sharing the same information in Spanish. So please, everyone, those of you who are eager to share with us those great ideas, please do so. So the first person we're going to call is Alberto. Alberto, when you have a chance, if you can unmute yourself and share with us.
¿Me oyen?
Yeah, te podamos oír.
Ok, en español.
Está bien. So he's going to ask, he's going to
Okay.
share in Spanish and then I'll
En
translate.
realidad, yo tengo un carro de controles pequeño y yo voy al parque con los hijos míos y con eso nosotros vamos y corremos. Yo me encargo de que ellos vean cómo éramos cuando éramos pequeños, de inocentes, que a nosotros...
Perdón, Alberto, Alberto.
Esa es mi experiencia con ellos.
Alberto, ¿usted me escucha? Alberto.
Sí, sí.
¿Me puede escuchar? Cuando usted habla, no podíamos escucharlo muy bien. ¿Usted puede repetir su pregunta? O no, su comentario, que usted iba al parque con sus niños o va al parque. ¿Ustedes comparten qué?
Ok. Que yo voy a los parques con los hijos míos.
Uh-huh.
Y nosotros le caemos atrás a los carros y estamos en el parqueo.
Sí.
Y eso es una experiencia de la que yo me acuerdo cuando yo era infante.
Ok. Entonces usted iba atrás de los carros, oigan.
Claro, uno le caía atrás a los carros, lo llevaba por donde sea, lo llevaba a cualquier camino por ahí, ya imagínate, ya eso no se ve ahora con la tecnología.
Claro, y cuando te dice carro, ¿te dice los carritos pequeños?
Sí, los carritos pequeños de controles.
Sí, sí, ok, muy bien, muy bien. Gracias, Alberto, por compartir. So Dad just shared that what he does with his children, he'll go to the park and he remembers to doing this when he was younger, that he would have the small, cars with controls. And, just be able to just run after the cars. And, he does something similar like that now in the park as well with his own children. And that's something else that he's doing now. So call, let me see, who else is here? Howard Washington. Howard, if you can unmute yourself, please.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Praise the Lord. Thank you for that information, Ms. Connor. It was very, very, very helpful. It helped to put back into remembrance, like you're asking the question of what we used to do as kids to be calm. I never even thought about it like that. The COVID 2020 was so disheartening.
Yes.
And I know one of the things that my mother used to do with me was make me go to the library. And as a kid, I used to hate it. But as I got older, I learned to find my way to the science sections and, explore the planets and stuff. And so my two little ones are going into the 6th grade, and I also have a junior in high school. So I think what I want to do is get them back into the libraries. Since Providence Libraries just opened up, I think that will be helpful for them and helpful for me. Praise God, because I'm always, coaching them and telling them what to do, telling them what they're doing wrong, except for sports. Even in sports, I tell them what they're doing wrong. But it would be nice for them to have some calmness for themselves without me yelling at them. Calm me down too.
Thank you. And don't forget to tell them what they're doing right.
Yeah, yes, amen. Praise God. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Tyler.
for your comments. And
You're
Alberto, gracias.
We have one more person. Actually, we have two. Chandra, you wanted to share?
Okay, I think I unmuted myself, right?
Yes, you did. We hear you.
Well, what we used to bring us calm, Miss Cleo, was we used to ride the bikes all up down our neighborhood. Chandra Dash.
I thought it was. Hi, Chandra. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
But
Good.
yes. Bike. And especially now, because you can't really ride in the streets too much, but they have all the bike trails, and I usually take my son and my nephew on those, and they take you everywhere. You can go from here to Connecticut if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, you guys were quite active. Chandra's brothers and my son used to ride continuously back and forth. They would be at one house or the other and always moving. Yes. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you for your comments on. Good to talk with you.
Yeah, it was good talking to you.
I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope you could get something out of it as well.
I did. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, dear.
Okay, we have one more. Michelle and Billy. That's the name. There you go, Michelle. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for another wonderful presentation. I enjoy watching my husband fish with the children and the stories from the past. And I know fishing, a lot of people find it to be boring, but our children and grandchildren look forward to it. And to see them, have some healthy competition and to see them, have that big fish story and all of that. It just brings back wonderful memories of my dad and my grandfather fishing. And then I'm a grandparent of 10. So, of course, the girls have a little tradition in our family where we've shared in tea parties. And my grandmother lived to be 97, and we had
Wow.
tea parties until end of life. And so we go to great extremes to find meticulous little bakeries that have a specialty of something, and we'll plan a whole tea party based on finding someplace new to try. And we great lengths to keep that memory alive. Just this past weekend, we were told to quarantine because my granddaughter was in a contact case in the Providence school. So her little mind took her to plan a tea party, but of all things, with her old soul, she wanted to go to our family cemetery and clean the grave. And she then read a new book, which she picked on her birthday, which was rather challenging and out of her league. But she spent 2.5 hours at this site, very calm and content as a 9-year-old, and sharing stories of my mom, my grandmother, and my mother, who are all buried there. So to allow children to feel comfortable, even with their memories in a place like that, my mom did that for me because she had me when she was older, and she allowed me to be comfortable in my own skin and to know that that was a place of comfort and not just for grieving. So those are just little things. The last thing I wanted to share is incorporating the kids into meal making, because if they're incorporated into it, the shopping, the planning, finding new recipes, cooking with us in the kitchen, right down to cleaning up the last dish and putting them away, we're sharing our history, and it gives us more time to open up and communicate with the children, and we capture their attention for a little bit longer than them even running off to play, because I hold on to that second of, I wonder what we'll have next week, or I wonder what we'll find at the grocery store that's new. So all those little opportunities, as you talked, just really represent the things that I'm grateful came out of COVID, because it's given us just that little bit of extra time that people needed to slow down with, and we took it for granted. So thank you for all your other input and all your other positive energy coming back into this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments, Michelle. I love all of those suggestions. I love the tea party. Believe it or not, I love the fishing too. I've been fishing off and on since I was 5 years old. And to me, that brings a sense of peace. And my son fishes. So it's something that is, I guess it's been passed down. And I'm hoping that, when the grandchildren, when we have the opportunity to take them fishing, that they'll enjoy it as much as we do. And it's a wonderful time to, it's a little competitive, who's going to catch the biggest fish. But it's a wonderful time to talk, because what else? I mean, you've got a captive audience, and it's good to just share memories. So I love that. And thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you again. Ms. O'Connor, I think we're just going to take one more person, and that is, she had been waiting for a little while. And so B, if you want to go ahead and I'm going to wait. Okay. If you can unmute yourself. B, go ahead. B, we can't hear you. No. Okay. Okay. We did have one more person, and so I'm sorry if B, we
That's fine.
Hear her, but Ruth Harmon. Okay, Ruth, if you can unmute yourself, please. We can hear you.
Yes, I did. Stay mute.
No, you're
Hello?
fine.
We can hear you.
Yes, very glad and thank God for grace and mercy that we all met here. I did an operation in January. I've been home from work all this time. And my foster son goes to your school, Phil Thomas, and he had not been listening to me. So even when I tell him I'm lying down, I said, go and take your shower, go and change your clothes. He was not listening. So what I did today, I spoke with a social worker, and I spoke with the other day, I spoke with a guidance counselor. So they promised me they will work it out, teaching, because I don't want him to know, for him to get angry, because he getting angry at me for telling him to do those things. So if they deal with him, he all into the football thing. In football, you have to take shower. In football, you have to change your underwear. Other people don't want to smell your sweat. And I don't care how you use the other ring, that odor will come up. So I'm very happy for this training. And I hope sometime the kids come around, especially to partake in listening. He now here, he going to football practice. And when I let him know I said these things about him, but it's a shame when he come from a home and not from a house, and you appear out there like that. All he wants now is the football. He used to be A and B student, and he failed to his subject already. So I'm very happy and proud of you. I thank God for you, and I hope you'll continue. Especially I like the exercise, because you know being home all this time since January, not exercising and adding more weight, and doing the breathing thing, going to the park. I like all the different things that you people brought. I'm very happy about that. And thanks to you all for your concern, your care, putting together. I pray that you continue.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you, Ruth.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a good night. Okay. We just have 2 more questions.
Yep.
I greatly appreciate you taking the time to share your thoughts and helping family try to do different things and spend time with them. And one more, we used to fix, this was another thought, we used to fix cars with wire hangers and wheels with canned sodas and bottle covers. So this was B, who was not able to, we were not able to hear her earlier.
Oh,
So she shared her experience here.
There, you know, if we just go back and take some time to reminisce about our childhood, you know, we'll find so many jewels of ideas that we could do with our children or grandchildren, or even maybe, you know, just change a little bit for today's culture, and, you know, make it work for them. There are so many things. The ideas that I put out there, those are just a few. If you sit down and you give it some thought, I bet you'll come up with many more.
Good. Thank you so much, Cleo, for joining us this evening, for your calm voice.
Thank you.
For your advice, and again, for sharing and taking the time to prepare this presentation for our families. So again, thank you again. We will connect so we can plan for next year.
Okay.
And so again, thank you all who are joining us today. Please do not leave us yet. Ms. O'Connor will be leaving the webinar right now, but we are almost done. But again, Ms. O'Connor, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, everyone, we're going to move forward with our giveaways in our drawing. So what we wanted to ask you, though, is to look at the chat, and we're going to insert a link. You should see it there already. And what you want to do is go ahead and press the link and you'll see a few questions, probably like 6 questions, English and Spanish. Please go ahead and answer those questions as quickly as possible. It's about 7:10. So we want to be able to give you some time. You'll see a timer on the screen now, and we'll wait a few minutes till the timer is done. So we'll give you a little while. And just to remind you that the giveaways, okay, are a few for a pack of free admission to Roger Williams Park Zoo. We also have 2 Walmart $10 gift cards, and we also have a gift card for $25 for Nice Slice, which is a pizza place right here on Westminster Street near the administration office. So we want to make sure that you do not leave. I will need your feedback. Please complete the form. It does again ask you some general questions regarding the workshop, but also, any suggestions about, presenting additional information. And so we want to make sure that we have your feedback. So please do not leave us without completing that Google form, those few questions. And we just want to remind you also that on Tuesdays and Fridays, we also have the grab and go meals that are available at the different middle schools and also PCTA, the Providence Korean Technical Academy. So these are grab and go meals that you can pick up Tuesdays and Fridays only. And it happens normally between 2:30 and 4:30. So if you know of any family that would like to, again, to come and pick up some breakfast, lunch, snacks, and also some dinners, please make sure to stop by. We have it available for all our families, of our Providence Schools families. Also, when you go on Fridays, you will leave with 4 breakfasts, 4 lunch, 4 snacks, 4 dinners. Again, so that you can have this available over the weekend. So just don't forget, we have this available throughout the school year. We are also planning to offer these opportunities during the summer. So please make sure that you keep in contact with us. The Family and Community Engagement Office is also open during the summer. Some folks, take vacation, but we always have the office open, just like our student registration office. So we want to make sure that you are aware. We are located at 379 Washington Street. The Family and Community Engagement Office is who is facilitating all of the parent academies. We have 3 more workshops that are coming up, and that will be happening. The next one is May 12th, supporting academics through physical activity. That one should be a lot of fun. So please make sure, if you liked this workshop today with some ideas of what to do, outdoors, please make sure that you join us for the next one. Again, that will be May 12th. And also May 18th, parenting during the pandemic. So again, you'll have some ideas there as we're getting closer to the summer. And then May 27th, for all our families who might be on the call that have children learning English as a second language, we will have our last workshop May 27th, specifically for this population, so that they are aware of the access test and the reports and how to understand those reports. So please make sure that you, come back to the Parent Academy and learn of these other activities that we will have. Again, our office is located at 379 Washington Street. We also have some free books here for any family that would like to have some free books. They are also given out during the grab and go meals on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So try your best to go there if you have a chance. Our phone number is 401-456-0686. If anyone has any additional questions about any of the parent academies, or if you have any questions or concerns that you need assistance with, please go ahead and give us a call. We'll be happy to help you in any way that we can. Again, our number is 401-456-0686. So as you can see, we're running out of time. We have just a few more minutes for those of you who still need a second or two to complete the Google form. And then we're going to get started with the drawing. So please don't leave. We're going to do it very quickly. And so we only have, again, a few more seconds. So be ready. You'll see a wheel that will appear now on the screen. And if you completed the Google form, you will go ahead and also be part of this drawing. So please make sure that you do not leave. The wheel will appear in a few minutes on your screen. And as I mentioned, the different prizes, the first one will be for free admission tickets to Roger Williams Park. The second prize is a $10 Walmart card. And then again, the 4 tickets, we have a few more of those. Also another $10 Walmart card and $25 Nice Slice gift card. So just give us a second and you should be seeing the wheel up on your screen. And for those of you who are winners, because we're going to announce them very quickly, just a reminder that, because the Google form, we do ask you to enter your phone number. We will be connecting with you tomorrow, just to make sure that you can stop by our office to pick up your prize. So again, do not leave. Please continue to stay on the call. The wheel should be coming up pretty soon. So don't leave. We just have some technical difficulty right now. It should be appearing very soon. Here we go. Okay, so please pay attention to the wheel as it goes around. The first prize is 4 free admission tickets to Roger Williams Park Zoo. And our winner is Omar Sanchez. Congratulations, Omar. Thank you. The next prize is a $10 Walmart gift card. Again, $10 Walmart gift card. And our winner is Michelle Holderman. Thank you, Michelle. Congratulations, Michelle. We will be calling you very soon. The next prize is 4 free tickets to Roger Williams Park Zoo. Again, our winner is Kimberly Almond. Okay, congratulations, Kimberly. Be on the lookout for our phone call. Our next prize is again 4 free tickets to Roger Williams Park Zoo. And this is for Glenda Aceituno. Congratulations. The next prize is a $10 Walmart gift card. As it goes around and around, let's see. And our winner is Chandra Dash. Congratulations, Chandra. And our last prize is the $25 Nice Slice gift card. And our winner is, okay, Jeanette Perez. Congratulations, Jeanette. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this evening, everyone. Again, we want to remind you our next Parent Academy workshop is May 12th. The topic is supporting academics through physical activity. Okay, so just a reminder, the Zoom is the same Zoom link. We'll send a reminder out to everyone. And if you know of any other families that you think could benefit from any of our Parent Academies, please share the link with them. Okay, thank you so much again and have a good evening. Thank you, Delia, for helping us out with interpretation.